J Squad.
We gotta find. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope you can hear me just fine. Actually, I'm gonna test it out here. Boom, boom. Yep, I can hear myself. Good. A little bit of a rush, a little bit behind today. But today we are going to be talking about the one and only Chibi Reviews. This guy, I guess, I've seen videos of him, especially like I think the one video that I remember him from is the gun incident where he showed off his little pistol to, I guess, try and scare some people away, some of the haters. Sounds like he's gone through and been doxxed and other things, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So, my understanding of Chibi Reviews is he is a anime content creator. He reviews, talks about everything that comes up with anime, or at least until recently, where he's gone more into the anti-woke grift with a side of, with a flavor of anime to it. So, but recently he got into drama with, he inserted himself into the Kirsche drama, and it looks like it re-sparked some of his haters to come back after him. Seems to be a problem he has a lot going on here. So I wanted to go back. I got curious. I started looking into kind of the guy's history and everything else, and I see where he has had quite the last couple of years worth of drama with a lot of content, or I guess a lot of the anime community disliking him for his bad takes in anime, which I don't know enough about. I have like maybe a couple animes I've watched in my time, and only like one or two I'd rewatch. But at some point, he started getting a lot of hate. Let's go ahead and get back over here to my boy. Boom, there's me. There I am. So he started getting a lot of hate, talking about different things. Looks like he posts a bunch of degenerate art. And I guess he's had some times with crying over some of his various takes. We'll look at one of his videos talking about his lolly stance, because this seems where he seems to get a lot of hate from coming at him. Let's pull it up. Boom. Here we are. Oh, not that one. That one. There we go. Let's get this in here. Boop. So this one is, I wish I was that cherry, my stance on lollies. So already probably not a good start. Most people probably don't want to hear my opinions on lollies. But let's see what he has to say.
Never in my life have I wanted to be a cherry as much as I do right now. And I think anyone that watched this this trailer for Wuthering Waves probably has maybe a similar stance to me. Maybe you might call me freaky or whatever, who knows. But the point of the matter is
I think the term would that's a pretty degenerate like anime thing. So I would call you a degenerate probably.
that this PV trailer was the first thing that I saw when I opened up my social media tab today, and that probably says a lot more about me than anything else. But I will say that this almost makes me want to take the plunge. It almost makes me want to dive head.
Why am I starting with this? This is just to get a basic outlook on. You're going to make me regret watching this stream, aren't you? Yeah, we're kind of starting from the beginning. I'm starting with this to get an idea on the lolly stuff and where he started the hate. Or where the hate started for him. It seems like some of it was his bad takes, but it doesn't look like it got really bad until the lolly and he started crying a lot. But I haven't watched everything. I've just done a basic search.
First into Wuthering Waves and actually play this game because of this PV. And I'll tell you, gotcha game ads, man, they really know how to sell you. They really know how to sell you for wanting to play their games. Every time I see some form of gotcha game trailer for either like Brown Dust or, Blue Archive, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, you get the point. Anytime I see something, I'm just like, yo, these trailers are just absolute cinema. And they know their audience.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. I just like giving people shit if I can. That's all right, Vincent. I've started to notice that about you. But let me go back and listen to that little bit.
I'm just like, yo, these trailers are just absolute cinema, and they know their audience, and you know,
Okay, yeah, they know their audience is desperate single basement dwellers. Not that everyone plays that way, that want to see hot anime chicks, or in some cases, pedo baiting with a lot of them. So yeah,
I appreciate just how shameless gacha games are. There is a degree of respect I have, and I know that at the end of the day, a lot of gacha games can be predatory because obviously loot boxes and having to spend a lot of money, but at the end of the day, I do respect just the shameless nature of just how gacha games are, and like I said, there is a degree of respect there. But with that being said though, this video is about to take a dramatic turn because obviously I'm about to talk about a very controversial subject that has led me to get into a lot of trouble in just these last 6 or so months, which is crazy. But the point of the matter is, and why I even started the video off with this topic, is because for one, I wanted to start off with a lighter topic before I get into something very deep, but also this is somewhat, like, very loosely related to the topic I'm going to be discussing, and I'll give the full context as I continue on with the video. But for now, let's transition to a very controversial topic, which is going to probably get me in a lot of hot water, actually. I see a lot of people being a little bit upset that I'm even discussing this topic, but I want to make my stance very clear and very well known, for my words aren't necessarily twisted. So let's get headfirst into it. So I made a post back on March 19th about twisted. So let's get headfirst into it.
Whoa.
The video if you want to read this tweet for yourself, but more or less.
So I think one of the worst things starting out, just this little bit of the video, is one thing you probably don't want to do is make your stance very clear with lolly. It's just a bad take. It's you're already setting yourself up for failure with one side or the other, because the people who hate the lolicons are just as degenerate as the lolicons themselves. And once you take a stance, one of those communities is going to go after you.
I finally state my stance on lollies. And the reason why this is relevant, and if you're unaware, don't understand the lore or anything about me or anything else that's happened to me and all that, it's one of the big reasons why I landed in a lot of hot water in the last 6 or so months. And yeah.
Stop being long-winded, wuss. If you're going to defend lolly, own it. I don't defend lolly. I think if you watch porn of cartoon kids or sexually drawn images of cartoon kids, you have some flavor of pedophilia. So there's my hard take, Vincent. Oh, you're talking to him? Yeah. Just say what you want to do about it. We're already 3 minutes into the video. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is not a video that you want to make.
Give complete context, complete transparency to you, because I'm not going to hide anything. Just going to be honest. Basically, an old video resurfaced a long time ago, back from 2014. It was a 2014 video where it was an episode review of Barakomon. Hopefully I'm saying the name right. I think it was episode 4, 5, somewhere around in there. But I remember I said this character was extremely cute, and I said she's like a lolly of the season. She was extremely adorable. And people clipped that, and then they started, spreading that everywhere, and it led to a lot of people to get ammo against me, and eventually it boiled up to the surface to where the Dawn to Dawn post happened back in October, and also the stuff that, transitioned after that, all the other slander and defamation. Basically, people started calling me...
Oh, God, slander and defamation. Oh... And about the anti-lolly, or the anti being as bad as the pro-lolly people, is something I know well. I mean, I've seen it several times. If you talk about LOLICON in some way or another, you're generally going to stir up one of those groups. Here's the thing that I've started to notice, at least in the current stuff with him, is him constantly bringing up defamation, slander, different things like this. So we're going to see where he goes into it here.
A pedo because of like me saying a character was very cute and like lolly of the season. And ever since then, more or less, I've just tried to ignore it, not really talk too much about it. But I think anyone that knows me and has communicated with me, and you have seen my
You should have kept not talking about it.
stances on fiction and censorship, I think you already know what my opinion on the matter is. At the end of the day, lollies and stuff, they're not real. They're just drawings on a page. They're not harming anyone. That's what it is. It's just
So straight to the basic lolly defense is it's not pedophilia because no one gets hurt in the process. Gotcha.
the argument that, you know, if you like lollies or think they're cute and they cause you to be a pedo, it's the same argument as like video games cause violence.
It's not even close to the same argument as video games create violence, because they're not like, all right, video games create violence is the argument that if you keep playing video games, you will eventually become violent. It's a bullshit claim. Saying that you will become a pedo is not what people are saying. They're saying if you consume lolly, you're already a pedo. Now, I don't know if you can call someone a full pedophile for it. I'm not going to get into that lolly debate, but that's not the same thing at all.
That is the new age. That is the new age
Did it just go silent on me?
argument, but for that type of content. And I don't.
Oh, hold on. I can't hear these dumbass headset I have. Has been acting weird. But in general, if you're going to take some kind of like, it's not the same thing. It's just violence in video games. That's not the same argument that they're making. Well, I'm going to go back and torture myself too, Vincent. So there we go. Let me make sure I've got hashes on.
Used to be
right.
weapon that games. They're not lollies and stuff. They're not real. They're
Okay.
just argument. Same argument as like video games cause violence. That is the new age. That is the new age argument, but for that type of content. And I don't like how it's being used to be weaponized against people and actually straight up like allow criminals to get away with more criminal acts against actual people. And once again, let's get
Wait, what? How does people saying you're a pedo if you enjoy lolly help actual pedos get away with? That's just a dumb statement.
Let's get more into context here. So this post, I'm just going to read it. I'm going to just straight up read it. You know, I'm about to get a lot of flack for this, but here it is. Lolly does not mean you're a pedo. My stance will never change on this because watering down words only helps actual criminals, aka pedos. If you find it weird, so be it. People have a lot of mixed stances on this, and that is fair.
So he's trying to make the argument that, like, I feel like in this sense, he's trying to make the argument that if it's the same argument, like, it's very badly done, going after rape, right? So if you go after a rape victim, then you're keeping future rape victims from coming forward. You know, if you make fun of her, whether that person, you know, believe all women, all that other. He's trying to make that for lolly, but again, that's also not a good take. Like, that's not at all what's going on. Tell me how you enjoying lolly and people calling you a pedophile for it helps actual criminals get away. Maybe he'll go over it.
However, let's not help people that do actual crimes get away with hurting others. Anyways, that's my stance. Hate me if you want. And I will reiterate, it is completely fine if you hate me, because most people are going to hate me regardless. You know, that's just how it's going to be, because the people that's already hated me, this is just going to give them more confirmation that, yeah, you know, there is a reason to hate me. But I more or less am saying this just to get my stance out there for my words aren't twisted. at the end of the day, it's not real, it's fiction, it doesn't harm anyone. If you find it weird, that's completely a-okay, and that's why I even make this stance right here with this sentence. It's completely fine if you think it's weird, you don't like it, fair. But
I think if you watch porn or sexually explicit pictures of children, you already have the prerequisites of enjoying naked children. Are you a pedophile? I don't know by definition. But I don't think it's weird. I think it's degenerate. And if not pedophile light.
I think going out of your way, which I even state right here, like, you know, harassing people and slandering them and then throwing buzzwords around doesn't really help anyone. It's not helping actual people. It's more or less helping criminals get away with, like, injustice. In fact, there's people that are so against this as well, and they think it's actually real, that they're willing to hope that someone gets harmed just to get an own against me. This is someone that tried to call me out a few days back, and I completely snapped back at them. I'm gonna have to censor some words here on the screen, but basically, they tried to label me as a pedo, and they were wishing for my downfall and a documentary video made on me, hoping that I actually harm someone for they could watch it. There is no other way that you can really look at this and get a different type of context, because the post that they're quote retweeting is literally my stance on it doesn't mean you're a pedo. And so the fact that they quote retweeted me, and the first thing they say is, "I cannot wait for the video essays that will come out about you in 2 years," it can only be interpreted.
Okay. All right. So we just heard his comment that it's not pedophilia, and this guy said, "I cannot wait for the video essays that come out about you in 2 years." There's no other way that you can talk about that than him saying that you're going to harm a child. They're talking about like your weird lolly takes. They're talking about what I'm doing right now. Maybe not a video essay, but people getting on stream and talking about you. That's the way I take it. But I guess if you go full on, you're going to harm a child, maybe that says more about you. What does it say?
It can be interpreted in a way that you're hoping that there actually is crimes that come out about me, and hope people have been hurt for you can have the own and confirmation.
So what does it say? Context matters here, I found. If you get turned on by lolly, then your head there's something wrong in your head. If you think they are cute, that's different. Well, yeah, but I guess that's supposed to. I don't know if there's. I think lolly. I don't remember the definitions. Like there's a difference between lolly and LOLICON. There's nothing wrong with his name's Chibi Reviews, the kind of cute character. It comes to be a problem if you're jerking off to it. I find lolly questionable, but at the end of the day, it's still fiction. So far, it doesn't seem to be a lolly or IRL child pipeline. Yeah, well, there's not enough evidence to prove one way or the other, right? So I'm not on the wood chipper for LOLICON's train, but I wouldn't let someone babysit my kids if I knew they engaged in lolly. Like, you know what I mean?
Against me that I'm a bad person. Do you not see how insane that is? That is actual insanity.
Okay, let's go back here. Let's listen to that again.
Now, I actually harm someone for they can do so. There's people that are so against this.
Okay, so
as well, and they think it's actually real, that they're willing to hope that someone gets harmed just to get an own.
Okay, they hope someone's going to get harmed. The statement is, "I cannot wait for the video essays that come out about you in 2 years."
Against me. This is someone that tried to call me out a few days back, and I completely snapped back at them. I'm gonna have to censor some words here on the screen, but basically, they tried to label me as a pedo, and they were wishing for my downfall and a documentary video made on me, hoping that I actually harm someone for they could watch it. There is no other way that you can really look at this and get a different type of context.
There's absolutely a less insane way. I think lolicons do it for the edge, so the victim points that they bring to them, and others are potentially. Yeah, I mean it's one of those perpetual cycles of victimhoods. We're not the bad guys. You're pedos, over and over and over again. This statement's insane, though. He's brought this to like the actual limit when this guy's just talking about, in my opinion, YouTube essayists.
Because the post that they're quote retweeting is literally my stance on it doesn't mean you're a pedo. And so the fact
I'm pretty sure it's on that entire stance
that they quote retweeted me, and the first thing they say is, I cannot wait for the video essays that will come out about you in 2 years, it can only be interpreted one way. It can be interpreted in a way that you're hoping that there actually is crimes that come out about me, and hope people have been hurt for you can have the own and confirmation against me that I'm a bad person. Do you not see how insane that
is? They're not even hoping for crimes. They're saying you're going to do stupid shit online. I can already see where this guy like is going to be a perpetual victim and is going to continue this cycle. And we haven't even gotten into like the serious stuff.
That is actual insanity that you wish for harm against people just for you can get a victory against a content creator you do not like. That's wild. Rev even kind of got into the conversation and even basically said the exact same thing.
Well, that's because Rev's an idiot as well.
I literally pointed this out, by the way. You can literally see it here. I'm like, imagine hoping someone harms people or harms kids because you hate them. This is super gross for you to wish for, says a lot more about you than me. And then instead of arguing, like, you know, debating me and saying that's not what they meant, they start off calling me a spiteful little worm. That's
okay, let's see here. Imagine hoping someone harms kids because you hate them. This is super gross for you to wish for. I say a lot more about you than me. Let's see here. You talk big until, okay. Chibi, you spiteful, I don't know what that is. You say daily would take me years to catch up on you, you slimy little worm. You talk big until people call you out and then fold like a bitch. People have asked nicely for you to stop. So I'm going to tell you to shut up because that's the nicest thing I can say. So even in this situation, he's not like, if this was a guy calling him a pedo, he would just come out and call him a pedo. So this guy's just basically saying he's what we've been saying, or what I'm guessing he is, a perpetual victim.
Wild. Like, why would you deflect and not even like follow up with answering my question? Instead, you go straight to name calling. That's weird. Very weird. Definitely hit a nerve there. Anyways, with that being said, we go into the next segment. Basically, this post has been continuously causing a lot of people to be exposed. A lot of people exposing themselves that they are so adamant about wanting to get me, like get confirmation I'm a bad person, that I'm actually hurting people, that they're willing to hope that people get hurt just for they can actually say, yeah, see, he is a bad guy. That is nuts. There's just so many people in the quote retweets and stuff that have exposed themselves that it says so much. And most of the time when people are so adamant about this with this argument and against it, typically they have skeletons in their closet and they're projecting. I'm not saying it always happens, but
yeah, that's a retarded statement.
I've seen it a lot. Earth updates is definitely a recent one that has happened that I'm aware of, and I actively saw, and I think a lot of people that have seen it, you know, probably have seen it. It was a gimmick account that basically exposed themselves and just straight up was outed as someone that actively is fine with harming people. So what I'm trying to say is that this post really is quite the test to see how far people will go just to get a victory over a content creator, hope they get a victory over a content creator. Wild stuff. Now, what's funny about this post, which gets into the relevant stuff of the gotcha stuff I was talking about at the beginning of the video, let's get into that. I'm actually someone that,
Dear Lord fucking Jesus.
big women, like tall women. It's why my fiance is taller than me as well. And I'm just going to be blunt with you. It's interesting just how people will be quick to label me all sorts of buzzwords and just inflammatory responses just to slander me when I just wild, man. It's actually wild. But what I will say is I've been wanting to make this topic for a while. I felt like it was very important to address. All I'm going to say once again, and this has always been my stance, if you find people weird for it, fair. Completely fair. Actually fair. But going out of your way to label people pedos, slander them, harass them, it's not helping anyone. It's actually actively allowing criminals to get away with things.
How is it actively letting criminals get away? That doesn't make any sense.
Easier, because the words get watered down to such a degree, people now have to start asking themselves, is it actually someone that hurt someone, or is it over drawings? And when that is a normal conversation or just a question, there's a problem. A big problem.
It's not a question. It's probably the most retarded, well, it is a question. It's probably the most retarded or statement I've ever heard. Like, that's just not a thing. You consuming lolly and me calling you a degenerate, a weirdo, a pedo, whatever, doesn't stop the police from catching a pedophile. Oh, sorry, we have to go after this lolly guy.
Problem. I'll leave it at that. Feel free to disagree with me on my stances or whatever.
I also want to take notice of him. God, what was I going to say? My words. I also take note that when he talks about the images in there, but he doesn't flat show any others than that one guy's. Like, that's the most egregious one. And it was kind of the most lighthearted one. Like, he really, like, it, I say lighthearted, it was the weakest one, right? Guy's just saying he can't wait for people like me, like others, to start making videos on him because he seems like a lolcow. But we continue on. Let's see here. This is more showing of his, I guess, inability to not say something to people. So that's it, folks. Wrap it up. Dingy and Makiyama has sailed. And then this person, I heard volcanic mountains are really nice this time of year. Why don't you take a dip in one? Like, okay, typical internet, stuff. Not gonna lie, it's not a good feeling being told to kill myself by multiple people today. I mean, you make a bad take and people start to not like you. These people come out of the woodworks, right? So that brings us to the Twitter cancellation. I guess he says Twitter canceled me over Chainsaw Man. And this seems to like really kick off some of the harassment this guy's into. So we're going to start here.
From death threats to full-blown racism on display for the last 24 or so hours. Threats to full...
Okay. Already. KIYS. Yep, got it. Who the fuck put this illiterate cracker on my timeline? Come on now. And here we go with the racism towards me. Normal people, everyone. Why would you post this shit, dude?
Or so hours directed towards me. You're probably wondering to yourself, how did we get here? How did stuff like this actually happen? Why is my entire feed, or the quote retweets on a lot of my tweets, basically stuff like this? Basically people justifying racism, people saying this isn't racist, etc., or to death threats, etc. You're probably wondering, how did this even happen to me?
I'm not wondering. I can clearly see that you got death threats previously, so you posted them on X of all places, and so X did what X does, and it made the problem worse.
begin with, where we have people literally saying stuff like this? Well, it all began.
If we act racist towards white people enough, maybe we can somehow make systematic oppression against white people reality. Okay. So the typical stuff you hear, like, this isn't new.
With a manga series last week about a fictional story with fictional characters. It all begins with Chainsaw Man chapter 167 and 168. Thanks to my opinion on the said chapters, thanks to how I felt about said chapters and fictional stories, so to speak, people have went out of their way to actively try to defend this said fictional story by going out of their way and sending.
The anime community online is something I generally want to not to have no part of. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of these communities can get pretty crazy toxic, and they've got, absolute nutters in there. But then again, when you post your own death threats online or racist comments, it's going to bring out people that have nothing to do with the anime community, so you're only making it a larger problem.
And hoping that there is harm done to a real living, breathing person. Am I the only one that sees the irony in that? Like, please tell me. I'm not the only one.
It's not really ironic. It's just the community there. It's just the internet being the internet.
But with that being said, I'm just going to be completely blunt. As I said last week when I made my follow-up video saying I upset Twitter, I'm doing the exact same thing again. If they want to give me free content, they want to just show how nuts and insane they really are, I'm just going to farm them. I'm going to farm them for free YouTube content because, I mean, look, we can point and look at the crazies on full display here, but on top of that, we can just straight up, see the current state of just the community, the Chainsaw Man community, or at the very least, the vocal minority of the Chainsaw Man community. And as I stated in my video last week, I feel like a lot of people that are doing stuff like this legit are actually not readers of Chainsaw Man. They're either those that have seen the series through TikToks or YouTube Shorts or brief little summaries online, or they see it trending in the trending tab and they're like, huh, I want to talk about that to, force myself into the conversation and act like I know everything that's going on and spread an agenda or a political message, so to speak. That is what I truly
is telling someone to end it, spreading a political message. Not from, yeah, I get what you're saying. Whoa, that was a good point. Not Chibi. He might have one here, but I haven't heard it from him yet. I mean, you are a brave. Trying to farm death threats is only going to encourage more death threats. And as we're probably going to see, because I know he's been doxxed, it leads down one road.
Believe has been going on with this series, and I feel like a lot of other series do experience this as well. Like, you can chalk this up with JJK, One Piece, etc. I know this definitely happens with those stories. But we get into this point, and it's honestly such a weird feeling having full-blown racism directed at myself. Like, I'm in legitimate shock that all of this is from Chainsaw Man. I'm in a good headspace now, to be completely blunt. I mean, last year, if this would have happened, maybe I would have reacted differently, but thanks to me just, being better mentally and having a girlfriend for the last 7 months, it's really just been there for me and, helped me get so much better. Maybe this would have affected me, but
I mean, if you're putting it up on screen for all of your fans, it's affecting you in some way. Like, if it wasn't, wouldn't you just ignore this shit?
But in reality, at this point, I'm more or less just laughing looking at this because it's just like, wow, the people that are saying this are the exact same people that will advocate for certain political ideals and trying to defend people.
Like, even some of these comments, like this, someone take this cracker off my screen now. Why? That's like so like milk toast, so small time. Like, like, why are you even putting that up on screen? That's not even that bad.
But they'll turn around and do the very thing and be absolute hypocrites. I'm just gonna be completely blunt here. There is just so much hypocrisy on display with these people. It is just ridiculous. Like, I knew Twitter was insane. Like, I've experienced my fair share of death threats over the years. But to actually see racism and how people try to justify it and say,
Hey, Grizzle, what's going on? Culture of this react to Twitter is so silly. Yeah, it's like 8 posts. Well, that's the thing. A lot of times you have to go digging for them, right? And then it's so easily ignored. Letting the racism of the left drive you to the right is dumb. I agree. If you let someone who calls you a cracker change your political beliefs, you're a pretty weak individual.
That it is legitimately not racist is just crazy. Like, do I really care at the end of the day? Some of the things I laugh at. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, what this person says here, why are you offended? It's the funniest ever. Be honest with you, I laughed. I did laugh. But at the same time, I think trying to water this down, and obviously at the end of the day, it is racism. When you use a derogatory or a slur that is trying to basically be thrown at someone of a person of color, and regardless of, if they're white or not, it is racism. It is definition textbook.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the thing. I won't necessarily call them racist per se. Like, I get why people call Chris that, and I don't know that I agree fully with that. But yeah, I mean, you're going to go talk to somebody who's called like a racist on the other side, or who will say things that other people might consider racist. Does it really matter? The guy's fan base blamed hoodweebs first before airbag was the reason. Oh.
Book racism. And with people basically doing this, it pretty much is just like, you do not see what you're doing. Are you really this dumb to actually not see that, yes, this is in fact racist? And when you confront them with it, they basically say one or two things. They say either A, you can't be racist to white people. That's legitimately what these people have.
So this is just him getting into the right-wing grift of, they call me racist, but they're really racist, right? We are all airbag. That's right. It's always airbag. They love to use that guy or Alyssa as a shield for anything. But they're just being edgy with their racism until they aren't. Yeah, well, we had that conversation yesterday, right? There's a difference between making an edgy racist, joke, and then getting into real detail, and then there's just spitting out bad political takes because you can make money doing that, right?
I've said you can go in and look at these individuals and you can actually see what they say. They actually say this. There is people that legitimately say stuff like this, or they'll try to say it's because they're privileged, they deserve this. And it's just like, wow. So we are justifying full-blown racism and death threats because of a fictional story and because I'm apparently white.
All right, this is
racism when it is, and
you've
have a normal life has caused normal people on Twitter to react like this. I mean, holy crap!
You have another picture on there,
and I cannot believe Chainsaw Man, a story about basically just a kid having a lot of problems, going through life, trying to live life to his fullest and have a normal life, has caused normal people on Twitter to react like this. I mean, holy crap. If there is one thing that this whole debacle does show me, okay, and regardless of anything,
chibi people don't like you because they don't like you, and then they bring up cracker because this reaction is why they do it. Yeah, exactly. Anyone who's making these kind of comments on Twitch, Twitter, whatever, you're usually trying to get some kind of reaction out of the person. I think it more about why you are doing, but yeah, I think it's more like, I see where Kamoji said the difference is how often you do that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's in the content and context of you're doing it. You can have like an edgy persona, and here's the thing: when you tell jokes like that, eventually someone's going to call you a racist for it, right? But it's in the context of it. If you can make a joke in that way, but still give good analysis on the situation that's going on, like good news coverage, if that's what you're doing, or, anything else that's not just the racism itself, like the racist joke itself, then I think you're doing well. But if your whole content as a whole is just the racist joke, then you shouldn't be surprised if people call you a racist.
It does show me that violence, gore, full-on massacres with characters within stories, that's straight up. Don't worry about it. They'll straight up stand, fanboy, fangirl certain characters and all that, but when there is some form of sexualized act within that set story, no, we gotta stop that right there. We can't do that. We gotta virtue signal, stand on a moral high ground, and we got.
Okay, I think he's talking about like rape in animes, and I saw some of the pictures of the stuff, and I think it's more of the way the rape is done, like full on watching the rape happen. And I like all I saw was pictures, but they're pretty grotesque. But yes, people can generally get around killing and murder of a fake character, where rape tends to hit home a lot harder. The Stan Goblin Slayer, by the way. Oh, you're talking. I've never seen Goblin Slayer. I've only heard about that scene. Yeah, but that's a whole other argument. I agree. Like, this isn't. He's trying to make the point that they're only making, like, it's what is it? He's only getting hate because of because it's this sexualized thing, even though gore is allowed. But that's not really why he's getting hate. He's getting hate. He's getting natural hate from people who just don't like his takes and will say something stupid. And then he's posting that hate to the greater internet and wondering why he's getting more hate.
Gotta make sure that this stuff is not allowed. I can't believe we're at that point in society.
And now he's trying to make the censorship claim,
where we'll try to justify violence and stuff, but when it comes to any form of sexual content in nature, that's a no-go. And it gets into people being crazy like this. It's just like, I don't know how we even got here, but
you're a white cishet male. I don't know what that word is. Racism towards you, being called a cracker. Lord, I can't. I'm giggling. This is such the fucking, like, this. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a funny joke, but it's the lamest thing you could be mad at, right? This isn't. I wouldn't even call this racism.
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to talk about it, make a free video.
To be honest, I hate this thing. They all talk about this and how sexual stuff should be okay, but God forbid they don't apply it IRL. Yeah, big nothing burger Kimoji. Yeah, I'm a prude. I think we should go back to kinks not all being out in the open, just behind closed doors, you know?
Free content for myself, but, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, as for their names being shown, I'm not censoring.
Yeah, cracker will never probably be a slur.
Should be shamed. Like, I feel like this should go onto the internet history to show these type of people just how wrong and evil they really are, and just be, honestly, I wanted to call it out. Call out this hypocrisy. But,
so, yeah, this is kind of his start, calling out people that say things mean about him. And I think we have another video now. Yep. Next one up in line is, and this is just kind of building a base point for when we get to the doxing and all that. I upset the normal people on Twitter over Chainsaw Man Chapter 226. I don't know that we have to watch this one. Let's watch a little bit of it.
I think they like me. I don't know if it's just me, but looking
at... we have to kill him because there's an absolutely no reason to edit him smiling. It's that one Anissa tweet all over again. I haven't seen that tweet. Okay. I'm not joking. I need this guy killed. Like right now today. I mean, these are just Twitter posts. I'm so serious. This chibi guy needs to die. Okay, yeah. Typical threats, and he's posting them back online again.
This and what's riddled
I fucking hate you.
For the last 30 or so hours, ever since I dropped my video for chapter 167, I think the...
Is he thanking Grums every other day now? Jesus, he's like full into it.
Normal people of Twitter are pretty excited about my presence online. That's the impression I get. I mean, ever since this chapter, there's been a lot of, let's just say, normal takes and a lot of normal interactions between people. We even have stuff like this to where, like, you have cosplayers that cosplay a character like Yoru or Asa or Makima. They come to find out when they either read the series finally or they just find out about the chapter thanks to it trending that they're like, wait, I'm never going to cosplay this character again because absolutely gross and disgusting. And I'm just like, clearly you don't read the series that you're clearly cosplaying a character from, because if you did any basic level of research, you don't even need to read the series, you would know what the character is about. It shows that a lot of people nowadays that dive into these type of stories or talk about these stories are diving into trends because they either see it on TikTok, they see it on YouTube Shorts, or they just see their favorite Twitter account or whatever Instagram account talking about the series, and they get all their information from that, and they know next to nothing else about the series. That's basically what we have on full display here. Thankfully, Sly kind of brought a little bit of my faith in humanity.
Okay. Could you just do, he could just do what he wants without the purpose of pissing people off? Because if you become a person for that, you need to get you, yeah, you're going to catch heat. Anytime you do something like this, you're going to catch heat for it. And, you know, as we kind of got into cancel culture not being much of a thing anymore, and I don't think it ever was a thing per se amongst like content creators. There was people getting kicked off of other platforms and stuff like that. I don't know why he's talking about these takes. Yeah, I guess. Hold on. So he said this girl is getting, she's doing this cosplay and getting hate for it, right? Obviously, he's not showing the comments. And he's like, well, you should have known the material. But when he gets it, it's wrong. It's slander. It's, you know, all these other things.
Honestly, I'm going to have to send this individual a follow just because I love seeing that there actually is sane people, jokes aside, on Twitter. But let's dive head first into all of this. First off,
I'll message them whichever ones I feel are interesting. Don't worry about that.
this before I get into addressing this, that's obviously going to be the thumbnail of the video and probably associated with the title. So one thing that this definitely shows me that I actively saw, because you look at these likes here, 33,000 likes. There's probably a lot more after this tweet and all that, and obviously this is an old tweet as well that came back, and, you know, someone found out about Makima. It's very clear that cosplayers in general, a lot of people, not just this person in particular, probably go out of their way to cosplay certain characters, maybe from Chainsaw Man, JJK, Demon Slayer, whatever, and they have next to no idea what the series is about because they just hear people talking about it. They want to gather some Twitter online clout or anything they possibly can to be popular, knowing next to nothing what they're cosplaying as, and then when they find out, they get very upset because they want a virtue signal, like, oh, I shouldn't cosplay this. And I'm like, wait.
Did you see Dizzle go through the whole court thingy? Oh, did he? He went through. Is there new documents out besides the ones that were sent through? Or are you talking about when he went previously over it and it showed all this stuff going on with Anissa?
Hold the phone. If you're getting like this, does that mean that people shouldn't cosplay like Joker? People shouldn't cosplay Venom, Punisher, shouldn't cosplay any villain?
She's not. None of this message says that you shouldn't cosplay those peoples. It's saying that she will never cosplay this this freak again. That's what she says. She doesn't like the character. Yeah, she was probably dumb for not looking into it before she cosplay it.
His character, so to speak, ever existing. People cosplay.
Oh, so they have set up the court appearance. I guess it's not getting slapped unless it gets slapped in this first appearance.
Deal. Like, you're telling me if we're reacting like this to Asa/Yoru, this cosplay, you're telling me that you should react the same way, the same energy, so to speak, to people that cosplay like Joker. He's literally like the Prince of Darkness / like Prince of Anarchy, so to speak. It's just like, huh? But pushing that aside for now, though, the point of the matter is that this definitely showed what type of community that Chainsaw Man has definitely generated as of late. A lot of people, I think, that are actively talking about the series are those that don't even read the series. They don't. Or they're anime onlys. That's it. And they know the series is what things and stuff, honestly. And there's a to this. So this is some wild stuff, honestly, and there's a lot to unpackage here, and if you want to read everything here, by all means, pause the video and read this for yourself. I'm definitely not censoring this because I'm going to be honest. It's just like, you going this far over a fictional protect this.
Okay, this is just a lot of the same stuff. We're going to keep going. I'm not going to listen to him bitch about these particular crimes. I want to get to the more important stuff. Let's see. So then I guess around March 2025. So this is like relevant. I didn't realize this was so soon. Wait, was this video? No, this video was 7 months ago. So I have it in a different order. We'll watch this one first, because then my next video is 3 months ago, which is closer intact. So some of my pictures are messed up. Yep, here we go. Whoops. I guess we can kind of go over it. So this is some more stuff. You know, I catch a lot of flack. That's that one we already saw. We've got more of the hate that he talks about. Fiction isn't reality. Him agreeing with Lolly. Here's this guy's tweet. I didn't have to bring it up again. Then he went on to say that this guy, one thing he didn't mention is he went on to say that this guy was a pedophile because he was clickbaiting a Persona 5 speedrun. And then the guy responded, literally the comment on how this was satire day one, I made it. And then it said, unfortunately for the time being, the Persona 5 speedrunner mods do not want this to be a speedrun category, but if it gets enough support, it might be able to create one in the future. I mean, this is kind of unimportant. I don't really know anything about Persona. And then they make more comments trying to kind of label him as a pedo and being yeah, that one. Well, this photo that I showed, which I think I should have taken out of the list to begin with, that's Chibi, or that is lolly art of him. Rule 34 lolly art of him. Okay, Persona might be awesome. I don't play it. I just never have. I usually like those type of games. And then we get to here, the more important aspect, the kind of the crux of everything that's going on. For such a large following, some people are so prone to crashing out over nothing burgers. Well, yeah, I think even with I think as the followings get larger, the cracks is when it starts to peel, because once you get large enough, that's when you start getting hate. And in the beginning, it generally tends to be mostly positive up until that point. So we've got someone has officially doxed my real information. Excuse me. Also, they mocked my dead brother. That sewer slid. I know who you are, and I'm going to speak to my lawyer now. So at some point, he is suing somebody in this whole deal, though I doubt they'll get anything from it. And here's the doxing video. So let's learn the real crux of how all this began.
So I have been doxed. My private information has been leaked online.
I can already tell you right now, just from that statement, you should never come out in a video and say you've been doxed. That only brings attention to the fact that your personal information is out there.
My full name, where I live, pictures of my house, pictures of my death. So, Vincent, was he really doxed? Not necessarily. Like, not by a legal definition. On his... Yeah, and they confirmed the dox is successful, right. Well, so on his YouTube page, he had his home address for people to send him stuff. So that was there. I don't know if they doxed his name. Yeah, Smash does this, like he said in the court doc, when nobody would have known if he didn't bring it up. Yeah, exactly. If ever I get, like, into any kind of popularity on here, or even if I don't, if tomorrow someone doxes my information because they don't like me because I can be a little vitriol online, I'm never going to bring it up. Don't.
because generally most people aren't going to go looking for it if they haven't been told about it. Yeah, he's a dumbass. Well, he's a dumbass for putting his address on there. I wonder what age he was when he started his channel, because it's a dumbass teen mistake, but it's one that you have to live with for the rest of your life. As for his name and his brother and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that would be considered doxing. The address, though, was definitely out there for everyone to see.
Dead brother's grave and mocking my dead brother's grave on top of that. And then, on top of all of this, continuous amounts of death threats. This video is being used as a paper trail for I can show to my lawyer, also the court system, because I am going to be filing a lawsuit against the individuals that are responsible for doxing my private information. Now, as you can see on screen, I already have a few people that, is not necessarily going to be potentially in this lawsuit, but I do want to showcase the actions of what I've been going through throughout this entire ordeal in the last 48.
Okay, so how is he going to sue these people? Most of the time, when you have doxers, they're going to be using some form of puppet account, right? Some form of puppet account that is not traceable. So where are you going to find these guys to get this taken care of?
8 hours or so ever since the first episode of Dawn to Dawn came out, and I uploaded my video on it this past Wednesday. So as you can see here, this is one individual partaking in the mockery of my brother's death. We have an individual that is hoping that I basically get my brain stem stomped in and my corpse is spit on. They went on to have a lot of likes. The post is still up, by the way, not been terminated or violated.
Where's a lot of... Did it show the likes? You notice something funny about this? Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, these are unhinged comments, right? Like, this one especially is an unhinged comment. But do you want to notice something here? He's not showing the likes. What does he mean by a lot of likes? I tend to see a pattern in this kind of stuff, is when these people show these comments on screen and don't show the likes, it's because there's not a lot of likes, because there's shitter accounts that no one gives a like to. Yeah, you need more than just an unhinged comment. You could try and get the doxers arrested, I guess, but that's generally not going to happen.
We have an individual that is hoping that I basically get to have a lot of likes. The post is still up, by the way, not been terminated or violated any Twitter rules or anything like that.
If you're looking for things on death threats, for the most part, death threats or comments like this are legal. They do fall under it has 1K followers. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like it's a huge account. It's Bablo Saint is not like they want to pretend it's a big name person, and I doubt it got more than a couple of likes.
Like that, we have people making false thumbnail images of me, trying to slander me, saying I made content like this, and then trying to say, yeah.
32 likes. Twos. That is hardly a lot. Kamoji, actually, that's not even necessarily true. There has to be some kind of... It has to be a credible threat, right? It has to be some kind of credible threat. Like, if you're very particular about it, like, I can say that I'm going to go kill the president of the United States, but if... or I can say I'm going to kill the president of the United States if he does this, right? But if I don't have any serious credibility towards doing that, more than likely I'm not going to go to jail for it. The case on it, Watts versus United States, the guy said that he was going to kill Lyndon B. Johnson in one way or the other, and he was exonerated, and it's a big case kind of setting that president on threats. Now, if I said, hey, President so-and-so is coming to my town on this date, and I show my rifle and stuff, Oh, just for being banned online. Well, yeah, banning online is going to be a different thing because that's going to be up to the TOS, right? I completely expect a place like X to have some kind of stuff for that. And that's what you should just do is report the account and get it banned if you really, if it's really a problem for you. But 32 likes, that's not much of anything.
I made a video on this when in reality I did not. Then we have a post like this where someone put a petition out to stone me to death. AKA, there was thousands.
That's not a petition. That's someone saying petition this guy.
People that like this post. This was an early on screenshot. Sadly, I didn't get a late stage screenshot, but the last time I saw the post's likes before it got removed thanks to violations of Twitter's terms and service, it had 12,000 likes. AKA 12,000 people were wishing for my death. And so we escalate all
12,000. This video had 12,000 because this one has quite a bit, all right? But this is also a very milk toast one, right? Yeah, and that's basically a rape scene that he's showing.
All this that's been happening for the last few days, to the point to where my private information has been doxed, and now the threats or death threats that I have been receiving are all more real. Very, very much real when someone posts pictures of my house and my brother's grave. FYI, I don't like to talk about this much. I talked about it briefly.
Now, I'll say this shit right here is absolutely unhinged, right? No one should go to his grave. No one should take pictures of his house. The suicide hotline thing. Yeah, I think they do that anytime now it's mentioned in the thing. But yeah, this is unhinged and wrong. You should never do this. This is why you have to, like, before I even started streaming, and I'm still always looking for some thread, I made sure that, like, my accounts that are linked to my more personal stuff are incredibly separated from my YouTube position stuff. I don't really want my name out there and different things like that. It's the same with Grums. He can't resist crying every time someone gets... Yeah, he's been doing it. It's a pattern with these people where they just play victim to get attention. And we haven't even gotten into the more serious stuff like the doxing, and you can already see the pattern.
A long time ago, because Anime Snob, can't believe I mentioned that man's name again, he mocked my brother's death as well. They committed suicide. And obviously, I'm assuming this individual is probably from that rabid group from a long time ago. I could be wrong. We'll find out when the lawsuit gets underway. But the point of the matter is that I am a little bit concerned about my safety because obviously my girlfriend lives with me. I have 2 dogs that I love and a cat as well. Obviously, I'm concerned. I mean, definitely after having 10
one thing that
people wishing.
One thing that would help with your concern on this is not putting it out there for every unhinged fucking person to find. Right? Like it's almost you should take the idea that it's not a if you get doxxed, it's a when you get doxxed, right? And then take it from there. There are things you can do in society now to yes, he does, Grizzle. That's where I found some of the information, some of the tweets and stuff like that I'm going over for it. Though some of the stuff in there I don't think is relevant to any of this stuff. Yeah, pretty much. But you have to be the one to do what you can. Like if you get doxxed, the first thing I would do is call the police and let them know, hey, I have a large following. I've been, if you're smaller, maybe not so much. I have a large following. All of my information has been leaked online. Can I be put on a list to make sure people don't, what is it called? Have y'all come kick my door in. Things like that. Like you want to do it. The second thing you want to do is not blast it all over the internet for people to see, because it only gives more. It takes like the little amount of people that doxed you and then spreads it to all of the people who are following you. So now you're going to get more stuff. And we'll see some of the unhinged stuff that people have said are lies and I don't agree with here in a little bit. But this was already a bad move.
And literally, you can go into any of my recent tweets and look at the quote retweets and seeing people actively justifying death threats against me. It's very clear that I do have some cause for concern. So thankfully,
it's because you constantly talk about your death threats, so people know they're going to get a rise out of you if they threaten you.
I live in Tennessee. I don't live in
like, how many of them are serious threats? Like this guy saying he's going to stomp your brainstem out. Is that a serious threat? Like, where is Tim Pool Studio got swatted at some point? The police showed up while they are live, just to give heads up. The police department is usually not enough. I agree, but yeah, you can have to do some things like that. Like they'll get used to the fact, you know what I mean? And there's some places that are getting better about it as it became like a widespread thing. But it is a step, right, to help a little bit.
California or anything, I'm able to legally own a gun.
This is still as funny as the first time I saw it. So I have seen this video before that I don't remember the first time, but this is the least threatening way you can show off your new gun. Fresh out of the box, you picked it up. Yeah, reeking of soy. Like, you've never touched a pistol in your life.
I've owned this for a while, and I'm going to tell you right now, if anyone wants to pull any stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes.
Owned this for a while, but you've never taken it out of the... Okay, he may have gone to the range a couple of times.
That's all I'm going to say. What I will say now, going one step further, I'm going to end this video here for legal reasons as well, but I am going to be protecting myself. I am definitely someone that will be watching, and if, you know, now I got the evidence, I got screenshot.
Yeah, show it off not in the box. Like, you could do what Moist, I'm not a big fan of Moist Critical, but what Moist Critical did with their Mags video, yeah, that was funny. That was... You know, you could tell he could handle the gun seriously. He's been to the range. He knows how to load it. There was comedy behind it, but that just is like, okay, you don't know how to use that. These I don't care about as much. Like the stuff about his ex-girlfriend, I read through that said that he was toxic. I'm actually not going to bring that up because it doesn't seem very relevant. My family is in danger, though, and my account was hacked is the next one. And this one I would like to go over a little bit because it's more of the same. I
don't have enough evidence to really press criminal charges and get, like, Homeland Security, cybersecurity and stuff, and even the FBI involved. I've talked with a few people that have pretty much told me the same. And,
who are these few people, though? All right, so we're saying he has enough evidence to talk to police. Who is the people that say he has enough evidence? And while I wouldn't expect him to show the evidence on here, like, what is that evidence? Because if it's just their names online, then you don't have much.
With the evidence now that I have, definitely something potentially can be done. But on the other hand...
Chat GPT, yes, the Mama Max special.
It's crazy to me that all of this started because I posted an image, or not an image, a little scene of Dawn to Dawn.
It wasn't just a little scene, though. Like, come on, let's be real. You posted onto X the rape scene from there, right? That's a little bit more than just posting a scene. When you post something as vitriol as that, expect that kind of comments back.
Just... I guess if we want to really amp up an edgy post, not even real fiction, and it's spiraled into where it's not just personal insults to me, death threats to me.
He only seems to post that. It's like, where's the actual art stuff? Yeah, I've seen examples and things like that, reading stuff about him. I haven't gone fully to his page because I don't really want to see a lot of that, but it seems like he's a gooner. In some way, and just kind of degenerate, and man, people don't like that.
But it's also where my my brother's grave has been doxed to the point to where people have the GPS coordinates, like the actual coordinates to where it's at. I have the person responsible.
Thank you for letting me know that I can go online and find the coordinates to your brother's grave. Good job there. Just like you told me the last video that all of your information is out there for everyone to see, and someone knows the location of your brother's grave in your house. Thank you for giving me that information.
For doxing, which
Like,
I thankfully have an image here I could just show you guys that is censored, but the person responsible here, you know, is actively...
Thank you for showing me the person that I need to go look for to find your docs. Thank you for putting it on your channel with 111,000 views. Who I need to go find to be able to find the geolocation of your brother's grave.
now messaging people to more or less come kill me, DMing them my address, people saying that it wasn't the Boruto fandom. Regardless if this is a setup or not for the Boruto fandom, he's a part of the Boruto.
A lot of shit happened, but Chibi just blaming Boruto fans for everything is just funny. Because I'm the one who leaked him, LOL, and I'm a Boruto fan. Okay.
Community. This straight up. That's what this individual is. He admits it himself. And on top of that, having contact with Kree, which was the person responsible for about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, causing the slander to call me a pedo. And that has gravitated to this degree to where I'm currently at. It is insane how we got here. It's insane that my family is being doxxed. My family is in danger. I have to call law enforcement to be able to guard my place. I have to worry about my social security number being hacked into. They were actively, I have the receipts, the messages and everything of it, all the IDs. People actively trying to get my social security number.
So I think we'll find out here in a minute. Well, I don't know if he ever brings it up. When was this? Hold on. I got to double check something here. I mean, he's the one that's blasting this out for everybody. And it only makes it worse because while it may have started with this community, other people in these unhinged sites are going to pick it up and they're going to start, you know, trying to find what they can. It's just a thing that people on the internet love to do. And let's see here. Let me see if there were any videos brought up about this. One thing he did, when was this video? 7 months ago. So I don't know when it happened. And he made some, like one of those estimates happened before it. But this guy got into it with Soy Jack. of all the websites, and my guess is this happened before. Yeah, because back in 2024 he got in with the Soy Jack place. Yeah, the world's a crazy place. So if you're gonna God, what's the name of the site? The meme site. Shardy. The thread on Shardy, that's what it's called. The Shardy is the site that people go on. Yeah, a lot of people got doxxed by the party. Yeah, I mean the Soyjack people is the ones who doxed, not doxed. They hacked and released all of the 4chan information in that party raid. So he went through and had that issue come. So that like the more he spread it out, the more people who found it from unhinged websites. And here he is, still spreading it around.
People trying to actively get my phone number. And then I have people on Twitter here, and even people in my comments on my YouTube video saying, and deflecting like, oh, why'd you mention the Boruto community? It's members of the Boruto community, okay? What else would you want me to say, okay? I'm not playing it safe here. My life is not just in danger. It's my girlfriend's life, my dog's life, my cat's life, and my family as well at this point. And my brother's grave site is in jeopardy. I'm in a state of shock. Just how vile and evil people can be. I don't care if...
How long has this guy been on the internet? Like, seriously, how long has he been doing YouTube? I'm gonna come back to this, but like, since 2013, he's at least been watching YouTube. I don't know when he actually started uploading stuff, but this isn't like, yeah, I mean, this isn't like a new concept. This isn't like something to be surprised about. 4chan was a huge thing that made, you know, even normie news about the toxic communities that were going around. Even before 4chan, there was shit like that. And this guy just acts like this is,
I know.
He acts like he's surprised that this happens.
My place. I have to worry about my social security number being hacked into. They were actively, I have the receipts, the messages and everything of it, all the IDs number. Then to videos, people actively try.
Okay.
I have.
He just mentioned right there, I have the IDs of the people that tried. Those are going to be like fake puppet account type stuff to try and get it done. So I don't even know if I included him in my top 10 4 years ago, but the only thing I remember about him was his content was very boring, slop. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he started out just talking about anime. And now we're to, this is what he talks about.
I have to worry about my social security number being hacked into. They were actively, I have the receipts, the messages and everything of it, all the IDs. People actively trying to get my social security number. People trying to actively get my phone number. And then I have people on Twitter here, and even people in my comments on my YouTube videos saying and deflecting like, oh, why'd you mention the Boruto community? It's members of the Boruto community, okay? What else would you want me to say, okay? I'm not playing it safe here.
You're blaming the Boruto community, but more than likely it's these soy jacks, it's other unhinged people online that go digging into this stuff. I hate to say it. You've continually put yourself out there as a victim, and you're digging yourself into a hole continuing to do that because more and more of these crazy people are going to keep doing this to you because they get a reaction.
My life is not just in danger. It's my girlfriend's life, my dog's life, my cat's life, and my family as well at this point. And my brother's grave site is in jeopardy. I'm in a state of shock. Just how vile and evil people can be. I don't care if you hate me. You can call me a gooner. Hell, call me a pedo, okay? I don't care, okay?
Oh, now we're okay with being called a pedo. Yeah, once you've reached this point, it's okay. Maybe if you just should have stuck with not getting mad at people for calling you a pedo and boosting that you don't like it when people say mean things about you.
I know it's not true. Call me that. I don't care.
You said, why put the brother's gravesite on that list? I mean, these people are unhinged. You're not talking about normal people. These are people who will find every little piece they can to do something. Like, it's beyond the idea of edgy.
But when you attack someone's family, and deceased family at that, you're no longer, in my personal eyes, even human anymore. How can you even be viewed upon as a human when you could do something just so despicable? I know these people get brownie points, and me even posting this video is going to make them happy, but receipts are made now.
if you understand that it's going to make them happy, why fucking do it? It's like encouraging them to do the bad behavior, right? Oh, and that other thing, I want to talk about what he said right before that.
You're no longer, in my personal eyes, even human anymore. How can you even be viewed upon as a human when you could do something just so despicable? I know.
And now he's trying to like. He's not trying to dehumanize them. He's trying to like say like, come on, guys, you're not being humane. You're not being things like that. And these people don't care about that. They want the reaction that they're getting right now.
These people get brownie points, and me, I got the receipts. Enough evidence.
So you're going to give this, my guess is you're going to give this to the FBI and they're going to put it on their list, and they may match it up with some other doxing sites, but in the long run, most of these are going to be puppet accounts and dead accounts that are used that are connected to nothing. Like these guys don't, you will catch an idiot every once in a while, but the people who are good at this don't generally get caught until there's like a big sting.
And I'll tell you what, I will 100% doing everything I can. This is next level gross, and I just cannot believe what I have witnessed from content creators as well on this platform that have actively.
They said, no, compared to actual life in that situation, why bring up the brother's grave like they are of equal value? It makes it seem fake. Makes it sound like a script than genuine fear. Yeah, well, it's trying to, he's trying to get an emotional response out of people. Like, you would go after my dead brother? Because that would, in a normal person, be like, why are you desecrating a grave? That's something that people in the normal society would hold sacred, right? So that's what he's trying to add that to the emotional response. Like, if you don't care about me getting harmed, you should at least care about, you know, respecting the dead. It's just to add more emotional weight to it.
Justified everything that's happened to me.
And I'm going to be honest, like, I understand the emotional damage. Like, I understand being emotional over this. You make him seem a lot more dishonest. Okay, and that's where I'm going to bring up this point, because I did sound like I'm making him sound a lot more dishonest. What he's doing is an emotional response. More than likely, he's not directly thinking about that. He's making an emotional response, because I would be pissed off if someone sent me a picture of my grave, my dead brother's grave, or a dead friend's grave, or something like that. You know, a family member's grave, and they were going to desecrate it. So it's a very natural emotional response. The problem I have with him is not that he has a problem with these things, or not that he's using it to be maliciously dishonest. Is that he keeps bringing it up. That's the problem. He keeps bringing it up, which only brings more attention to it.
Because they don't like me, because I'm annoying, because I'm weird. I have massive content creators that legitimately have justified things. That's gross, man. That's gross.
Okay, show me the massive content creators that have justified things. But I say I still don't trust this, but I'm a natural skeptic. So, I mean, I trust some of the doxing things. So we had this one, like right here. I've seen people call this a lie. People that send you pipe bombs in the mail aren't the good guys, and those that defend those actions aren't the good guys as well. Or those that use murder gifts. This line right here. Those that use murder gifts to get around TOS. Anyways, I'll stop rambling and back to my anime manga. This is very Grum's behavior. Like that the hammer gifts are some real threat. But this right here, I do believe his statement that he might have, well, I don't think he received the bomb, right? Because people go on to say things like that. Fun fact about pipe bombs, you aren't supposed to know if you received one, because most of the time, most, if not all, are already on a timer or have a trigger that causes the open package, which the bomb contains. They're trying to say, oh, he's alive, so obviously there wasn't a pipe bomb. The FBI and the government have become pretty good about detecting this kind of stuff. And that he basically reiterates it here. Fuck it, because it pissed me off. Yeah, it's the same. It's the hammer gifts are stupid. It's the same thing as what's going on here. The more you complain about them, the more people do it to get out a rise out of you. So fuck it, because I'm pissed. These harassers are responsible for me getting a call from the FBI for a pipe bomb threat in my mail. So this is what I believe actually happened. But I will be honest with you. If I got a call from the FBI, this is probably the thing I would say. Well, I wouldn't make a tweet about it online because I wouldn't want to spread the idea that people have done it to me. But this would be my response to like friends and family. Why did this happen? Because I posted Durandre. I don't give a shit about why. They called for racism. Yeah. It actually said harassment is unacceptable and should be fully stopped. I mean, you can say harassment is unacceptable. I get it. That's a really easy fucking thing. It's like saying pedo's bad or crime bad or anything else, harassment bad. It's a very simple concept, but unfortunately it happens. So you have to do the things you need to do. But yeah, I believe him. I believe the FBI called him and said, hey, man, you got to send a pipe bomb threat, because it seems like the guy went to jail. I don't think it's in here. So this though, I think is kind of retarded. For those wondering about my police report I filed, here it is. Redacted the information. I don't really care about the first part. I care about this, which I'm going to be twisting my head sideways. Deputy, I should have spoke with a walk-in at the Justice Center at blank street. I came in contact with Mr. Jacob. Stated that he was a content creator on YouTube, Twitter. Mr. Seebeers has been receiving death threats from thousands of people on Twitter. Did he bring in thousands of... And there have been several accounts posting things about him, saying things like, bitch, I'm gonna... Okay, I'm not saying that, and I disavow saying that, but you could read that for yourself. Somebody has to kill you if I ever saw you in real life, blah, 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 blah. So I can tell you right now, this is sitting in the office somewhere, not getting... there's nothing local police can do about this. They do not have the resources to go look up people on Twitter online and figure out who is saying these mean things to you, much less be able to find them and prosecute them if they're even in the United States. So this brings us to winning. So I guess there's been some success at this point from about 3 months ago.
We stay winning. We stay winning. Oh, it is a good feeling to actually have victory. And those that are terminally online that have targeted, harassed me, mass reported me, harassed my family and friends, they did not win today. They have lost. And it is thanks to the community.
He's not beating the the pedo allegations with that stash, that's for sure.
Community and so many individuals that stood up to defend me. I appreciate every single individual one of you. I cannot ever repay the debt I owe you. You guys have legitimately been a light, a shining light in my life, and I am glad to see that those vile, evil people have not won, and we stay winning. Our community stays winning. Great times, man.
I mean, you're making your, what are we on, like 5th video about these people? So I think they're winning. I scold him in his Discord, and he allows it when he does something dumb. So, are you saying he allows the kind of harassment in his Discord?
Absolutely great times. So, what's next? Well, now that this situation is settled, and I have managed to gather more screenshots, info, and everything, thanks to this, my defamation case is definitely, gotten easier. Definitely. I made a passive mention in my video I made earlier today about it, but I'm going to just state it right here, right now. I am going to be doing a crowdfund. I'm going to be opening up a crowdfund to be able to fund the lawsuit that I'm going to be, you know, starting against all the individuals that are responsible, not
All of the... Oh, God.
just for the doxing and the harassment of my family, but also those that have actively participated in defamation against my very name, either calling me a pedo or racist, and all sorts of other vile rhetoric. They actively, you know, they're going to be facing charges. I want to try to get them. And
so, you're going after every single person in your comments that's called you a pedo, and the people that you think have real accounts that you can dox. Is what you're saying. Oh my goodness. This is just a waste of money.
I want to say that I want to be opening up a crowdfund. I want to make it as transparent as possible. I will definitely be making a follow-up video on this, showcasing a link and stuff and all that. But once I get it all activated and I get it all set up, I will be as transparent with everything as possible, showing everything as I possibly can.
So, yeah, it says there, oh, he does 2 suing threats. I can't stand people that threaten lawsuits. It's the absolute fucking worst. Like the shit going on with Ethan and him wanting to sue, who's he suing? That shit is fucking dumb. God, what's her name? I can't remember any of these people's names because I've actually tried to push away from them. They have this weird habit of now, like, adding the FBI. I saw freaking Smash has added the FBI like several times, and it's like, dude, they don't care about you, bro. You can give them information, but it's fucking stupid. What was I? So he's suing. There's a hospital of him making fun of himself. I have the. So here is the lawsuit thing. Let me see if I can find this. Give, send, go. Because I wanted to read this. Give, send, go. Chibi Reviews. Let's see here. Chibi Reviews lawsuit. Yes, let's fucking go. Get this up here in my timeline. And so as of today, he's gotten, hold on. What's his total? USD 25,000, and he's gotten 16,000. Brother, it's going to take more money than that to do a lawsuit. People are praying for him or sharing. This is Chibi Reviews on Twitter. I'm a content creator who's faced continuous online harassment, you and everyone else who is online. Slander ever since October 5th, 2024, when I posted a clip from The harassment I received was threats against my life and family on top of the continuous slander. Then all my information was doxed by individuals that hate me for talking about anime or manga. More than likely, they doxed you because they saw... Whoops. More than likely, the people who doxed him weren't the people he's thinking of. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. While this was happening, they even got into my old DeviantArt account and started posting illegal content that got the FBI involved. So I'm not bringing up any of that content. They hacked into his DeviantArt account. They got his password, got into his DeviantArt account. And then one of the people, they changed, it was the Soy Jack guys. They changed it to the Soy Jack meme, right? So definitely not the Dondere Don to Dan community, definitely soy jacks are the ones that did this specific thing right here. The stuff, the illegal content, I don't think was actual illegal content. So he had lolly pictures as expected on his DeviantArt that he was following. And then there was supposedly not nude, but pictures that were suggestive of real underage girls. Like, this is a complete lie on his side, because apparently, which I might be wrong and the person may be lying who is on there, but I guess DeviantArt does a thing called like swimsuit stuff. Yeah, like swimsuit stuff, things like that, or like where girls will take that picture laying on their back in something that might like none of it seemed like it was. None of the stuff that I saw seemed like it was sexually suggestive. They just started calling him a pedo for it, basically. And I guess someone contacted the FBI. They thought something was serious enough. But obviously, he's not in jail. So what he tried to say is he came on Twitter and he tried to say something like, hey, they doxed me and they started adding pictures to my DeviantArt. And this is the part where I'm not 100% sure on it, so unless someone else knows. But apparently on DeviantArt, the link that he linked, let's see if I can at least bring up that one, because I don't think that one gives away any. It's not the pedo stuff anyway. So here is the post that he sent. Copy link. Remaking this post without a link. Someone hacked into my DeviantArt account, and they are posting. They're now posting actual CP there. Please report this account. They are currently doing. Let me get a better picture here. But and this is where I'm not 100% sure. Again. From what's been said, or what I've seen people say, is deviations is like the amount of times you've added something to your account. Does this mean it didn't happen? Like, is adding something to your account the same as liking an account or following an account on DeviantArt? I don't know. So I don't know the full extent of this way. Like, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but it seems like this is not a full account of what happened. I did a police report on the incident, which was and threatened legal action. Both of these are pretty dumb. And now on February 5th, so the beginning of this year, the same people mass reported me to deplatform me from the social media website known as X. My account was taken offline for 20 hours and was corrected by Twitch support, acknowledging my suspension was an error. Okay, yeah, that probably happened because people don't like you and they're trying to do everything they can. Was it over a particular tweet, though, I wonder? That's a question. I would like to know specifically when this occurred. These people are sick and will stop at nothing. The average cost of a defamation lawsuit is $15,000 to $25,000. Dude, you are way off base. How much did it cost? I mean, okay, that's in no, even then. Like, how much did Carl Jobs cost? And how much money did he go for? Yeah, it was in his country. Blah 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 blah. I can't think of words today, but $15,000 to $25,000 is not going to get you enough for a defamation lawsuit. I mean, honestly, I hate asking for money. This dude gets decent views, doesn't he? Like, why is he not doing that on his side of the, like, I don't know. This just doesn't seem like a serious threat. I don't want to call it, like, some people will probably call this a scam, I'm sure. I'm not going to call it that. I think he actually believes this stuff almost to the point of being a lolcow about it. Maybe he found a cheap one. I don't know that I'd be using a cheap lawyer for this, though. Oh, man. So anyway, that's that part of the lawsuit. And then where were we? I went to the hospital today. He also tends to be one of these guys. And thousands of people wished me death. It's just continual process. When was this? 3 weeks ago. We'll come back to that one. Someone put a bounty on my head, and only a lawsuit will stop this.
These same people...
This must be the second video.
...have no reason to do a lawsuit. They will say there is no evidence of doxing. They will say that I am trying to scam.
I don't know that anyone's saying there's no evidence of doxing. There's clearly stuff that was doxed, but there's an argument to be made on whether your address was doxed because it was clear in your profile.
My viewers, my followers, into donating for a funding for this lawsuit.
Well, here's the thing, Grizzle, when you say why constantly make bait posts, I don't think, like, there's so many times that he's doing this. I genuinely think he believes that doing this is going to somehow stop it. Like, he genuinely believes that the lawsuit is going to do something or even go somewhere, which I have very, very critical that anything will be done.
And these same people will straight up put a hit on my head and say, we need to get rid of this man. Even if this person said for legal reasons, 'tis a joke, he violated the rules. But not just Twitter rules. It's breaking the law. This is straight up breaking the law, what they did when they put a hit out on me. Thankfully...
No, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And this is going to get people... He's either dumb or delusional. I agree. Someone saying they want to hit out on you is not breaking the law. When Denims did it, it was clear that it was a joke. Yes, she ended up getting, well, it wasn't her. Who was it? It was the wrong person got a call from the FBI. And the FBI should check on stuff like this. But you can't say that this is a serious threat, right? Without something more to it. So, and it's not against the law. I'm sorry.
Twitter has since suspended the account for obvious reasons, but I think there is a lot that needs to be talked about. Today, let's expose a few individuals that have been actively propagating.
Oh no, don't do this. Don't do this.
Hatred and harassment towards me and enabling stuff like this, but also give some evidence to one individual that is
actually putting a hit on someone, on him, is against the law, right? But actually putting a hit out is. There has to be proof of the hit. If I just go online right now and say that I'm going to pay, or even if I do it on camera and say, you know what, $20 to the person who finds Vincent Martin, that's not a serious threat, right?
somewhat responsible, maybe more than that, for everything that has happened. So let's dive headfirst into it. First off, let's start small. Let's give evidence to the defamation campaign. This right here.
Oh my fucking god, dude! You didn't just bring up a fucking. Fuck me. This is delusion. This is why I think he's not a grifter, but he actually thinks this. You'll be hearing from my lolly lawyer. I'll be expecting that.
Is just a little bit.
This dude saves every single tweet about him, every single comment on his channel, and everything. That's why I'm saying he's closer to lolcow status, or at least he's digging himself into lolcow status, because he cannot possibly go without saying something. It's weak material. Like, anyone on any side that's defending this behavior for this guy and telling him not to do this is, in all honesty, I have a different opinion from the beginning of the video. I thought he was pushing up against the anti-woke to try and build a bigger audience, but I think the anti-woke have welcomed him in so they can farm him for content. Like, they're legitimately just using this guy for content until something bigger comes out that puts him in full locale status, and then they're going to drop him like a rock.
Of post of the day I got suspended last week for Twitter. Now, this is definitely related to the whole situation with the defamation and doxing and all that, because of just the legal damage and just the damage it's done to me as a person, my brand, my family. It's just done a lot. And even if all these individuals, you know, don't really know what they're doing, it showcases the overwhelming amount of people that genuinely believe that I'm basically the spawn of Hitler, or Hitler himself, or a pedophile.
Hitler memes. He's getting fucking he's getting taken out by Hitler memes.
That is legitimately what you see here with a lot of these screenshots. Actively happy that my platform, or I, was deplatformed because of the online harassment that will just not leave me alone. So what I want to say here is this is just a small little glimpse into some of the stuff that I'm going to be showcasing. But yeah, all these people have been continuously enabling what has happened, for instance, with this. They're also individuals that continuously jump on in their little groups and try to downplay everything I do to make it seem like a joke to enable more harassment against me. I know who you are. I've taken a lot of screenshots, gaining a lot of evidence, and you...
I know who you are. I've been taking a lot of screenshots. Like, do you know... Oh, dude, come on. This is just going to be a perpetual content farm for people about this guy. Like,
you best be worried. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, let's get into one individual that definitely I might have to add more information into. But this is CJ. He is obviously mocking my current ongoing crowdfunding. FYI, for those that aren't aware, about a day ago, about 24 hours ago, I opened up a GoFundMe basically for you know, my lawsuit. Here's the, you know, what it is. I cover exactly what happened, how much needs to be raised, and all that, you know, and we've already raised over $5,000. Thank you, literally, for everyone that has donated to this cause. There is so many people that have helped, and I greatly appreciate it. I was only able to do something like this thanks to Legal Mindset. He's the one that helped me out, by the way.
Oh, no. Not Legal Mindset. Chibi Reviews has suffered egregious harassment and defamation. So if you have the capacity, please consider supporting him and defending himself from... Didn't Legal Mindset kind of get laughed out of, like, the American law community and then moved to Soy Reviews, friends, Soy Mindset? Like, he's not an American lawyer anymore. And this isn't even, like, nothing that I have seen from Chibi Reviews here has shown me anything serious. Well, I understand not showing pictures of the graves and things like that. If people have sent him that, that's genuinely unhinged shit that needs to happen. No, that's not the guy who did the Alyssa lawsuit. Legal Mindset is currently... He's the guy that's, like, documenting the Johnny Somali case. I'm pretty sure Legal Mindset is as credible as Rick Rekieta. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I'm always kind of questionable about these lawyers, especially after the Rick Rekieta stuff and how just unhinged a lot of that coverage was. It wasn't very, what's the word for it? It wasn't very well covered. It was very biased, which can happen with these lawyers, right? Like, Legal Mindset might be a fan of Chibi's, and I just don't think this is Like, I don't see how he could see $25,000 being enough money to not just go after one person, but a multitude of people for defamation, right? Because defamation is such a hard thing to prove. You have to prove, with Chibi being a public figure, and I'm pretty sure they would find Chibi to be a public figure, you have to prove malice and you have to prove damages for it. And not every single, like, he may be able to prove that for one person, maybe. No, he did. Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante sends insane cease and desist letter. Lawyer reviews. Oh God. He probably. I may have to look that up. I don't think Legal Mindset's a good source because he is a Korean lawyer now.
Set this stuff up, you know, he's been very supportive. He gave me a lot of information. He was very transparent about what I needed to do.
And this comes into that point where, like, these people are propping up these retarded ideas for him. These people are not good for what's happening to him, right? Like, it's absolutely surrounding himself with people that are making the idea worse.
And I appreciate him. This is a really good man, and I thank you a lot. I send you a lot of love. I appreciate you trying to help me out. But getting back into CJ, this man, every twist and turn, he's always a part of the group that actively enables harassment and, you know, interacts with people that are even responsible for the doxing. Don't believe me? Let's get some evidence. So, I came back when my Twitter got unsuspended, and I saw this man contacting @Namek, as you could see here. You might not know who this is. I'll give some information and some lore to that in just a second. But he basically started adding an individual that is very important to this.
Let me guess. Namek is the one who put out his docs. And
whole situation, and laughing at me, basically saying my family is in danger, my life is getting ruined, all that, you know, stuff, basically. And also helping that group to find out and harass me even more in my YouTube comment section. And so
you put that video up for everybody to look at. People are already looking at you. I haven't gotten to I haven't pulled a lot of the airbag stuff. I may do another segment on this Chibi stuff, the more natural stuff, because this is kind of going on everything beforehand. Like, I want to find the section that on Flash's thing and watch that too.
As you can see here, he deleted this. He actually deleted this post. You're probably wondering why. Well, I called him out for it. I straight up called him out for it. You can see me. I messaged him right here. I was like, this man is actively supporting and talking with the person that is responsible for getting me doxxed months ago.
So tax history 2023, tax assessment. We're smoking we're smoking on your brother's grave too. Also, I'm Nam. Oh God. So he's go use the Dragon Balls to resurrect your half brother. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. So this is what probably a puppet account.
I know what you are because they put illegal content on my DeviantArt. I've censored this picture for obvious reasons, but yeah, this is an individual that is the doxer, you know, straight up connected with Namek, the person I'm going to be talking about. But that post that, you know, I quote retweeted, as you can see, it has been since deleted. I'll open it up.
Yeah.
Post is deleted. CJ likes to hide when there's some...
Did I miss a threat there?
He deleted this. He called him out for it. He deleted this post. You're probably wondering why. Well, I called him out for it. I straight up called him out for it. You can see me. I messaged him right here. I was like, this man is actively supporting and talking with the person.
Oh, no, her. Yeah.
For getting me doxxed months ago. I know what you are because they put illegal content on my DeviantArt. I've censored this picture for obvious reasons, but yeah, this is an individual that is the doxer, you know, straight up connected with Namek, the person I'm going to be talking about. But that post that, you know, I quote retweeted, as you can see, it has been since deleted. I'll open it up. Post is deleted. CJ likes to hide when there's some very incriminating evidence, very apparent. It makes sense. I mean, especially when a lawsuit is...
So, yeah, I'm looking at that tweet right now. We'll pull this up here. Just a quick side segment. Here's the thing, man. Like, I get it. Alyssa's getting a lot of this too. She's doing the same thing that he's doing with this lawsuit. It's her, Smash, and Chibi now added to the thing. They're just it's perpetual. And I'm getting turned around to the idea that Alyssa may have more right than I thought. Like, she may have a case. Again, I'm no lawyer, so we'll see how it pans out. But it's just an unhinged cycle of crying over stuff that you should probably keep quiet.
Built. But for some reason, you keep wanting to dip your hand in the cookie jar, and you keep wanting to clout farm off my name when it's very clear you're on the bad side. Now, let's get into...
You're on the bad side.
Dynamic. Since we're on that topic, that's the big one. This
Lawsuit wars, rise of the anti-woker. You should call it. It would be Lawsuit wars, fall of the anti-wokers, because that seems to be all they have now.
Namek that I'm going to be talking about. He is quite a fascinating one. This man has went above and beyond to incriminate himself in every single turn of what has happened to me. I'm going to have some of the bottom section censored here. The reason for that is because that is the link to my brother's obituary. Yeah. It's not just the fact that...
Hey, Chibi, thank you for giving me the name of the person that I can go find to find the link to the obituary. Something that I would have never been able to find unless I watched your video about it. Like, you're wanting people to go do this, right? You can't, like, this is the link. Here's the guy who I can find it at. Man needs a PR expert. Yeah, agreed. He is absolutely. Someone needs to tell him, like, hey, shut the fuck up and, like, let this cool down. Give what evidence you can about the serious stuff to the FBI. Let them do their thing, but stop making it worse for yourself.
He says owner of Chibi Reviews, but it goes much deeper than this. He put my brother's obituary in his bio.
And, like, I don't want to be like a psychologist guy, but, like, just listening to him talk is where I get that idea that he sounds like he's bothered by it, which is understandable, right? But you have to not do what you're doing right now. You have to back off of this, because all you're doing is putting it out there. Like, and it's pretty much goes to the meme of, here's some things that I don't like. Please don't make fun of them for me. Play it smart, right?
Has made numerous posts basically showcasing what he has done, that he has doxed my brother's grave and stuff. He is an individual that is scared now of legal action, that he needs to get a lawyer too. He made this post literally a week ago. He also, if you...
Hold on, what did that say? Bro, can I get a lawyer too, considering I doxed him and it's been 4 months? I don't think this is the guy. I think this guy's being sarcastic. Like, it's inside of a post, right? No. I don't know. I think this guy might be more sarcastic. See, legit, I mentioned it, and he could literally stop and not forever. Well, here's the thing now. I think he's hit a threshold, the Kyle dude. Why would you admit to violating Twitter's TOS when the report post button is right there? Okay. Oh, goodness. It's just, I don't think Namk, you're going to find, like, his personal information attached to it. I mean, unless the guy's really dumb.
That he needs to get a lawyer too. He made this post literally a week ago. He also, if you take a look here, since this is Ghost Archives, you look on the right here, you can literally see what he has in his bio here. That's no longer there. You literally see him say, owner of Chibi Reviews, we smoking on We smoking on Eddie. That's my brother's name. That's my brother. And then he's like, res your mans. Obviously, it's very apparent what he's doing there. Slide for Eddie. This individual, I have reported, by the way, many times to Twitter. They've done nothing. But I guess it's better that he's not gone, for obvious reasons. Lawsuit. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of evidence against this man that he has actively went after me. Now, how is he...
Do you know who this man is, though? Like, do you know who he actually is, or are you just giving tweets to the police?
Affiliated with the doxing thread? Well, let's get into that. Let's show that evidence. So right here, this is a video I made when the doxing happened back in October. I made a video covering the people that were responsible for giving my information to my brother's grave, to my family, everything like that. And you can see him self-incriminate himself literally in the forum that was actively going after me at the 1 minute 14 second mark. He incriminates himself, and the person on screen is literally Namek.
Imagine if it's someone from a third world country and the police tells there's nothing they can do. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like, this guy may not even be in the United States. So, well, because they may not even be smoking on his grave. So if the guy physically went to his grave and smoked, then yeah, he's in the United States. But I have serious doubts that the guy went there and smoked, right?
And then you can see here, I actually have to lawyer up now. He showed my Twitter in his latest video. See ya chuds later, wish me the best. Clearly not a smart individual. That's all I'm going to say. Not a very smart.
Yeah, but look above it. Shit. I'm still not 100% positive that this is a real threat. Like, Chibi, you don't have to dox him, but do you know his name, right?
Individual whatsoever. And I want to be honest with you. It's not about getting money back or anything like that, even though you actually have.
I don't know. It's about sending a message.
Harmed me in other ways too, actually. You know, let's showcase that. This post right here is me losing a sponsorship. I lost a sponsorship back in October because of the whole situation with the doxing. Because of how heated it got and just everything that happened, I lost a sponsorship. Sponsorships, actually. I lost my profile picture. I don't want to do this to an individual, but you know why my profile picture changed? It's because the person that made my profile picture, my previous one, didn't want to be associated with me anymore because of all this stuff that was going on.
Okay. Let's see here. I'll be fine with still going through with the campaign. There's nothing more I can do about the situation right now and leaving it to legal. Unfortunately, because my company also saw the drama, they want some distance at the moment. Or we will have to wait, but I will get you on something later on. I mean, I could understand them wanting to distance themselves. He could also, it's an anonymous board, so it could have not even been the person on Twitter. Yeah, that's it too, Kimoji. I didn't think about that. Yeah, sharing this does not help him. Like, hey, I lost sponsors, but here's the thing too. How were these sponsors lost? I always ask a big question like that. Were people going after his sponsors, or were they just seeing all of the stuff and decided, hey, I just can't deal with your stuff anymore, right? Yeah, it's just kind of making it worse.
Down. So it's not the fact that my brand image was taken away from me, but I lost sponsorships. More evidence to a defamation case. Now, let's get into the next stuff. People like to say the doxing did not happen. People like to say that there was nothing put on my account. Well, I have evidence for that as well. This right here is from the forums that was actively disclosing my information. They nuked the entire thread. This is the post that literally made it. Hello, I killed this thread about Chibi Reviews due to it having very bad information and being hijacked by malicious groups. I know little about Chibi himself. You know, Regardless of situation, I appreciate the transparency and honesty here, even obviously though it's led to a lot of problems for me. I do admit, even if it is a good deed sometimes, a small good deed, that the thread was nuked. Shoutouts to that. I will give positivity to that. Because obviously they straight up admit that everything that was going on against me was basically straight up a lie. So, yeah. Just gonna say right now, they say I rarely delete anything from here, but we had no solid evidence of him having real. You can see the word. I can't read it out for a YouTube video. It says it right here.
Soy, I hate the word.
Read the rules again, where it says what you should not do. Launch a raid because of a whisper on the wind / rumor of an allegation. Now, that means that whoever whispered them, we know who it is. I've already shown him in the video. It's very apparent. Now, here is the evidence that my DeviantArt account was hijacked and illegal content was put into it. They literally admit themselves they hacked into it, and there was nothing interesting, though, and they started editing his bio as a gem. To give some disclosure here, basically, they post my passwords here on the forum. Someone got onto the forum, hacked into the account, and started posting illegal content. And that's what led to the account, which is still currently suspended.
Okay, so there's no... Yeah, it's definitely the Shardy. This is... It's no longer just... It's no longer become the, you know, the just Twitter as a whole. He's gotten into the one of the more... I don't want to say dangerous. That's not the right word. The more unhinged groups on there. Like, these guys are... They make Kiwi Farms look like a nice place to be. From what I've seen. And this is where I think he's dug himself into too much of a hole, right? He's going after these guys in a form that tends to be people who are really good at hiding themselves. And these guys aren't going to let go of him. It's just not going to happen. This is going to be probably for the rest of his life now. There's raid threads on the Shardy on almost daily. It's kind of scary. Yeah, it's not a place that I would want to call out in any way, right?
Suspended. It's gone. But yes, they
and
have...
this is how long ago?
To my account.
3
and
months.
Now there's people that have tried to backtrack and say, you know, it was like there was always there, but there's evidence to showcase they hacked into it, and yeah. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that people like to say I'm lying. People like to say I have no evidence to back up my claims, and I've been very transparent about everything. So I guess let's talk.
So some of the messages that I've seen about this too, like I don't know the thing going on with the DeviantArt, right? He says that they put child porn on there. Someone said that they found, like the tweet that I saw said that they found images of Lolly. And there was a few pictures that looked like it was lolly porn. And then pictures of real children, but there was never anything that was stated as being being lost track of my mind again. but you understand what I'm saying. Like, he's doing this to himself. Well, let me go back here. Let me see what I was trying to say.
Anyways,
completely lost it. I'll read your comment. I'll admit it's kind of funny in a morbid way, seeing people's information being sandwiched between soy jack edits and Shardy lingo. Yeah, I know there's a difference between it, but I'm a layman when it comes to it, so I don't know much about it. I just know that it's not a place you want to get, that you don't want them to be on your radar. You don't want to be on their radar, I say. Again, with this, if you have the evidence, why care about what people are saying? Well, okay. On that note, if you look at, like, let's take Alyssa and Smash JT as an example. When people are heated about these different things, they're going to want to talk about it because you think that talking about it is going to do something, right? Alyssa, I say, up until recently with the Asmongold stuff, has stayed pretty quiet about the lawsuit stuff for the most part. Shorty is people from 4chan that made their own image board with 4chan deleted the QA board. Yeah, I know a slight history about that. Now, I've known that they tend to be more extreme. Yeah, they get more extreme than 4chan and Kiwis. That's what I've heard. They get very extreme, like beyond the levels. What is it? Kiwi Farm says don't touch the poo, but Shardy is very much willing to touch the poo and go in on people.
Is that people like to say I'm lying. People like to say I have no evidence to back up my claims, and I've been very transparent about everything. So I guess let's talk about this.
Are we gonna say anything new?
Actual advice, the legal advice from Legal Mindset, a very good man.
Oh, I'd be careful saying that it was legal advice. It just may have been. There's a difference between a guy on the internet who's a lawyer telling you might look into doing something and it being legal advice.
I talked about him at the beginning of this video, but it was thanks to him why I even decided to set this up, because honestly, I had a lot of pride and ego in me to really not ask for money. Like, I'll talk about that in a second, but
you probably shouldn't have, in all honesty.
Basically, thanks to him, I set this up, thanks to his counsel. And I did some research into it, and apparently, like, GoFundMe can easily be reported down from some malicious groups. I think it happened to Smash as well, relatively recently, with his current defamation case.
Oh, no, bringing up Smash. Here we go, this is it.
With the doxing and stuff, so it makes a lot of sense, and I think now he is on Give Send Go too. So the point I'm trying to make is the reason why it's on this instead of, let's say, you know, GoFundMe, is because this is definitely safer for it's not, you know, taken down. But on top of that as well, apparently from what I found out from Legal Mindset, this is what he told me. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say, but he told me that you can't actually use donation funds for lawsuits if it's from like Ko-fi or whatever, I can't pronounce it, and different stuff like that. So that is why I didn't go through that as well, because you can't actually use those donation funds for it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just going from this case. So what I'm saying is the reason why I did this is because I can use the funds for a lawsuit. Now, with that basis being said, let's talk about this. So as you can see here, already over 5,000 has been donated to this lawsuit, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't expect it to even come this far. I'm gonna be blunt.
This loser is like, I didn't expect to get $5,000 from people on a channel that has 467,000 people. I would say the majority of your fans don't give a shit. Unless they're all hate watchers.
Now, we are about to be in the fall season.
Yeah, let's stop. Shut up. I mean, I'm not an expert on views, but it doesn't seem like he's not getting a lot for what he used to get. Here's in the beginning. So he had a little blow up here. He was getting like a few 100,000 views. But he's never really pushed up into a ton. And I mean, the views coming out nowadays, let's see here, 15,000, 25,000, 30,000, 31,000. Steam got hacked, 29,000. He doesn't seem like he's doing all that great. As a channel, so maybe there's not enough people that care to give him the money.
Green right now.
Insane behavior.
Let's look at that. Let's showcase that.
Okay, let's go back here.
My DeviantArt account was defamation case with the doxing and stuff, so it makes a lot of sense, and I think now he is on Give Send Go too. So the point I'm trying to make is for that as well. Apparently, from what I found out from Legal Mindset, this is what he told me. I'm not a lawyer, and so as you can see here, already over 5,000 has been donated. I know a lot of you guys love me and all that, but I just like seeing the overwhelming support. It means so much to me, more than anything, honestly.
I just think this guy's a loser. And he's constantly doing this, and other people think he's a loser, and then the crazier people online know that he's going to react to it, and I bet we're going to get more videos.
And it'll help me get some of these individuals that are responsible, but actually get criminal charges against them because of everything that's happened. They like to think they can hide behind an anonymous profile, but it's very easy for information to be gathered, especially when the FBI is involved. So what I'm trying to say is that in general,
this scare shit with the FBI, half of these people don't realize these things come in and then it just ends up like it can be a small piece of the puzzle, but they're trying to take down big fucking things. I'm sure they take down small stuff for here or there. You can't tell me that these tweets are really getting that much information, right? Like, I think you're just getting feel goods, bud. I think you're in your own head.
I made this GoFundMe, or this Give, Send, Go donation because I actually need help. It is a lot of money for a lawyer. I'm just gonna be blunt with you. I've done a lot of research into this, and the normal defamation case and stuff like this, with all the different stuff that I'm gonna have to do, it's gonna cost about $15,000 to $25,000. That's so much money. That is so much money, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't have that money. I have went out of my way to try to sell stuff as well, but nowhere is going to be able to cover this cost. It's not. It can't. It's just, it's a lot. It is. I have been told that I could get hopefully I pronounce it right, a plaintiff lawyer. Forgive me if I say it wrong, but apparently there is a lawyer I can get that, basically will only ask for funds if I win, and I'm very certain I'm going to win. I have no doubt in my mind, like, at all. Like, I am 100% certain I'm going to win this case. There's just too much evidence I have right now to really...
Who else has said that, huh? I'm just going to absolutely win this case. There's so much evidence that I have. That's definitely a guy who's going to win his case. Fucking retard. I have a feeling your case is going to go nowhere. Nowhere. FBI is definitely very unlikely to spend resources to track down an individual over tweets, especially if they have good OPSEC. Yeah, that's my thing. Like, they may try and link it up to another account. Like, they'll put it through their database to see if it connects with anything else. But to think that his tweets are going to build the case that takes down the soy jack or Shardy is, I don't know, that's wishful thinking, I guess.
Say that it's just going to be a straight L and a loss. But what I will say is, it's just, I'm going to be honest, the lawsuit would drive me into bankruptcy if I was to just do it all on my own. I'm going to be blunt. It would drive me into bankruptcy, and I would have nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, it might be worth it, but I do have a fiance, someone I love, and someone that I'm trying to, make a family with. So that's another reason on top of that. Going into bankruptcy, if I was by myself, I would probably do it. Probably would. But I'm not alone, so I can't do that to my fiance. That's not good. It would not be good to definitely start a marriage off with. So what I'm trying to say is that any support that you guys send here helps. I have been, and my family has been, the target of harassment for months upon months, and it is unending. I've tried to ignore it. I've tried to just block. I've tried to move on. I've tried not to talk about it, but it keeps happening.
Oh, no shit, it's not based in the U.S.? Yeah, it'd probably be almost impossible to get a subpoena for it then, depending on where it's located.
And then the same individuals that keep harassing me like to say, or people that fence sit, like to say, Chibi, if you didn't post, bait post, if you didn't post,
Here we go, he's talking to me now.
Things that are just talking about manga and anime, you wouldn't get harassed, you wouldn't have gotten doxxed. That's what these people try to use to justify everything that's happened.
We're not justifying it. We're saying that you're a loser that continues to do it, thus people are going to keep attacking you for it. It's a perpetual cycle. Hold on. Let's listen to his daddy say it best. See if I can find the clip. I think Kirsche did it. No, no. No, 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 no. Oh, I know what it probably is. Alyssa Asmund Gold. See if that'll bring up anything. I did that completely wrong. Okay, is this it?
In the hole where they belong, and the fact them, and you have to keep them in the hole where they belong. And the fact is that that's what we're doing, and that's why she's not that's why she's a waitress now. That's why all of this has happened, and we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna send
Oh no, that's not the one. Talks about a video on stream.
YouTube for bullying and her. Alyssa Mercante made her first real edited video on YouTube, and it got banned by YouTube for bullying and harassment. You can't make this shit up.
Oh, this isn't going to be it, isn't it?
Oh, man. That's just too bad, right? This would have never happened if she didn't start doing this. She started this whole thing herself. Alyssa Mercante.
Hey, how about that? She started this whole thing herself. Let's see here.
For bullying and harassment.
Okay, I think this is the full one.
I didn't even know. I see a person who's doing that, then that's it. Yeah, she opened the door. This would have never happened if she didn't start doing this. She started this whole thing herself. She could have just stayed in her room and done her thing and written articles about video games, but that wasn't enough for her. She had to go and play the moral police for the internet, and now the internet seems like now it seems like she's in jail. And that's it. Didn't she try to take away your Capcom sponsorship for Dragon's Dogma 2? I don't know if she did, but if she, like, I would assume the answer to that is yes, but I just don't even remember.
God, this guy's an idiot.
Yes? I didn't even know that. Like, and that's how unimportant this person is. And she's deprived of her freedom of speech. I do not cry any tears for people that get their freedom of speech taken away from them when they want to actively take it away from other people. These people want to create a world where
That's such a retarded statement, I'll say, by the way. If you actually have a moral care about freedom of speech, then it shouldn't matter whether it's the person who's screaming against free speech or not. Asmongold is a fucking puppet.
The only way that you can have a conversation is under their allowance, right? They have to allow you to talk and have any opinion you want. So no, and I also think that you can't live and let live with these people. I don't think so. I think that you have to actively repudiate them, and I treat others how they treat others too. And that's another factor as well. What the fuck is a Schlotsky's? It's like Subway, but better, basically. And can you watch the video that she re-uploaded? No. Yeah, it's of course it's not going to happen. And anyway, she torpedoed G4. That's what she deserves. Yeah, it is. And anyway, so what's the title of the video so I can dislike it? Well, nobody cares. But anyway, she did get harassed, and she deserved it. And that's what happens. You talk shit. I don't agree with what she says. Most of it's
you get harassed, you talk shit, and you get harassed. She deserved it. So you keep talking about it, and you deserve what's happening. That's from the guy that
it's garbage.
Clearly
speech still matters. Nope, it doesn't. And she massively harassed and dogpiled online to the point where she was effectively silenced. Good, that was the goal. And that's the accountability. That's mob suppression. Yes, that was the goal, because that's what they do to other people too. That's the whole point. Duh, now you're getting it. And recognizing that doesn't mean I support her. Yeah, of course, that's the thing. I don't think that, like, listen, guys, we've got to stop high-roading with this kind of stuff. Don't worry about high-roading. Just say what you think. And that's the truth.
Well, I couldn't find the exact clip, but at some point he says the reason he doesn't get death threats is because he doesn't, what does he say? He doesn't ever acknowledge the haters. Those are pretty unfucking hinged comments, dude.
It's crazy, man. It's actually crazy. I know I'm not the best person in the world. I am very well aware of that. I am I'm willing to admit that. But holy crap, trying to justify doxing and harassment, not just to me, but to my family and the desecration of my brother's grave, because I post cringe post on Twitter? You lost the plot. So I'm making this to basically just talk about the whole situation, get the Give Send Go out there, and if you guys do want to donate, I would appreciate it. I will be as transparent as possible, as much as I possibly can be, with legal expenses and everything, you know, with the lawyer, whatever I can show. I will do the best I possibly can. But that's about it. That's it. So, thank you, everyone. It's been very difficult, honestly. It's just, it's continuous attacks all around, endless attacks of just people trying any way to smear me.
It's only endless attacks because this loser keeps looking at every single fucking comment that comes on there. I am very small, so I don't get a lot of them yet. I'm only, you know, I'm a fucking 100 follower Andy on X, but you still get stupid shit online, right? So you just ignore it and move the fuck on. You keep talking about it, you're going to get this hate. He's inserted himself. I'm going to pull up on the next video because I think I'm going to finish it up, or I'm finishing it up with that today. I'm going to pull because I want to watch the Yellow Flash interview or talk with him, and it doesn't look like it's up on his website yet or on his YouTube yet. And I also want to pull some of the tweets and stuff like that going over him pushing himself into the Fox Girl cancellation and all that. But we'll bring up probably a little bit more of him later. He's a crybaby. That's all there is to it. He's a crybaby fucking loser who can't take it when people say mean things about him online. Unfortunately, he has been doxxed. I'll say that. And with that has come unhinged shit on, you know, on top of it. But you can't make it this loud thing. Every time you voice it out to thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, you're only going to bring in more. And now that you've gotten the ear of the more unhinged websites, then it's going to be a long time before they forget about you, right? Some of those guys will follow you forever. So we'll go over more of the recent stuff with Chibi Reviews another day while I look up the information. But for that, I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank y'all for coming by. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. All the normal like, subscribe stuff for anyone who watches the video afterwards. And if you have anything you want me to cover, I do have a Discord down in the link. You can come in, and I have a little content link area you can put stuff in. So, all right, guys. Y'all have a good night.